The way I see it is like this. There is a factory. Hopefully, it's not polluting as much as this one is doing. So trading is a series of production lines. And these production lines are producing widgets of different kinds. Maybe the first one is called micro-channel first pullback. The second one is maybe regime change or always in flip first pullback. These are the name of those widgets. And then the other one is breakout plus follow through / reversal plus follow through. Could be either one of them. So if you think about these as how a factory manager or factory owner views his production lines, it's like, okay, how many of these widgets can we produce every day? Okay, so this one is probably 3 or 4. This one is 2 or 3. And this one is 5 to 7. The focus here is on high quality. High quality, everyone. Okay, and then we will have some damaged items that they don't pass quality control. So quality control feels that they are not up to spec, and they are like maybe 1 here, 0 to 1 here, and maybe 1 to 2 here. So all of this will lead to some good products that are sellable. So final product numbers, in this case, it's going to be about 3. Here it's going to be about 2. And here it's going to be about 6. You view everything that you do as something like this. It might also help to take some of the emotionality out of it. Like I'm producing these widgets and I'm producing 3 different models of them. They have different features, they work differently, but these are the final numbers. And then if each one of them makes me a profit of, let's say, $500, so this one is going to make daily sales or daily profit is going to be obviously this number minus the defects. So that's 1,500. So this would be 1,500 minus 500 equals 1,000. This would be, so same for this guy. So we have 2. So this would be just 1 times 500 is 500. Or if I write it like the other ones, it's going to be 1,000 minus 500. And for the last one, it's 6. 1 or 2 is damaged. So that's 3,000 minus 1,000 or 3,500, something like that. So 2,000 here. And then our end of day sale or production is 3,500. But this factory with 3 production lines cannot produce anything else. The factory owner has some friends, like he goes to a club and all of them have business ideas. So he drinks his scotch and hears what they have to say to him, but that's just for fun. So he wouldn't engage because he knows tomorrow morning he has a factory with 3 production lines. And those are all the trades that have to be ignored because this is all that we do. People ask, like, how long does it take for me to become a trader? The answer is nobody knows, not even yourself. You wouldn't like my answer, but this is the truth. There's an endless ladder that you're climbing, and every day you're going to be slightly better, but there is no end to it. Everybody's learning. I'm learning. Everybody's learning. The only question is, so if this is like your, I think I sent you a diagram that pretty much looks like this one. There are 2 axes here. This one is time. This one is skills. This is the level that you have to be at to be good enough to trade consistently. Everybody starts down here. This doesn't go up in a straight line. It goes up in something like this, and it gets parabolic. This is that point that allows you to quit your job. Most people think that point is somewhere here, and the skill level is somewhere down here. And then they don't see this line this way, they see it as this way. Okay, so they think the time to target is around here or maybe here, but it really is here. So this is actual, but these are perceived. Therefore, I had the same conversation with my family and with my wife years ago, And she was asking me, how much longer do you think that you have to study? Because for a few years, I was actually making zero money, like nothing. And I was just studying. And my answer was, I don't know. It's not something I can even forecast. I can give you some ideas, but they're probably all wrong. But this is what happens.
Yeah.
The skill from some point on, if you look at this line and extend it, at some point this angle is going to increase at a very high rate. This is also what people experience in business. So they invest a lot of time and money. Initially, nothing is happening. In their case, it's actually negative. Trading is actually also negative because you're spending time and money with no return at the beginning. And then it gets good, if it gets good. Because for some people, it just doesn't work. They have psychological issues. They have anger issues. Those people can never become traders, at least day traders. So if there are no issues of that kind that prevents the development, then this is usually what happens with respect to time. The more you can view your trading as a factory that has production lines and remove discretion from it, the shorter that time period will become. But it is also psychologically hard. Most people, they say they can be rigorous and follow a system, but they cannot. I've seen it. I worked with traders who wanted to work with me and Kirk, and they couldn't do it. When you're interviewing them, you're asking them that if I give you a system that's fully tested and you know the performance numbers, can you trade it? The answer is yes, of course. But then you give them the system and they cannot trade it because that system was designed by somebody else for himself, not for this gentleman. The psychological filters and beliefs are not aligned. Therefore, the execution breaks down. When they change the rules of your system, the system changes, and then the performance changes. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I saw the signal, but I couldn't take it. Why couldn't you take it? I don't know. I just couldn't bring myself to take that signal. These are the stuff that you hear. That's why the emphasis is you have to make this production line for yourself so that it's a good fit and it is aligned with your beliefs. You will have a tremendous advantage over others if you can change your beliefs too. Like if you can program your mind for whatever you're trying to do, that's going to give you a big success factor. Give this a thought because this is really how I personally trade. I view the day as a series of opportunities to make widgets. And some of them I take, some of them I miss. Some of them I want to take, but doesn't happen. Like there are orders that don't get filled. But the net result are around these numbers. And that's enough because you can then position size and add leverage to it. It begins with just one. So there should be one system, and it could be very simple, that you execute correctly. So that correct execution, how can I say it? It's the most important thing that there is after you know what you have to do. Every time that you make a mistake, you are generating R multiples that are not in your sample set, and they're not accounted for. So mistakes are really damaging to your equity curve. Even if the mistake is a positive, like a money-making trade, it's still a mistake because it's unknown. The performance of that trade has not been in the sample set when you were testing your system. So you shouldn't be doing it. And self-sabotage in trading is repeating your previous mistakes. So if you continue to repeat the same mistake, you are not learning from it, so there's no progress. You have to really think about these things. Simplify to one or two things. Then most of the day, you're thinking about yourself as you are in the country club and listening to all the business opportunities that your friends are talking about and get excited over it. But you know that you have one production line, and those are just for fun. Okay, so that was your Saturday sermon. Now we're going to start looking at charts.